All right, we're back. We're
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
We're just talking about this tripod I'm using
Yeah,
for the camera.
nice.
$2.
Affordable.
$2 on TikTok Market. Don't sleep on TikTok
Don't
Market.
sleep on TikTok Market, man.
I mean,
That's the place to be. Forget
real.
Temu.
ooh, stuff falling down in the studio.
Oh, so the music.
But if you if you hear music in the background, they
They've
actually have a Juneteenth event
Celebration.
right across the street at the park
Yep.
of the condo, and so that's what you hear in the
Yeah.
background. You just flew in.
I just flew in.
Okay, welcome back to Chicago. Welcome home.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah, how was your flight?
The flight was nice. It was cold on the plane.
Well, yeah.
And I didn't have. I normally have a hoodie. I forgot my hoodie, so it was a little cold. But I slept most of the flight anyway.
Cool.
So, other than that, yeah, it's fine. It's good to be home. Good to see like the familiarity. You know the landscapes, landmarks.
I used to wonder why they have it so cold on the plane, but I wonder because older people get heat flashes too, and I guess I was gonna say stewardess, but they're not stewardess. They're called flight attendants.
I thought maybe it was to recirculate the air or something.
That too, but they got tired of people. Can you cut it down? Can you cut it? So they just give people blankets here. Put this over you, and you'll be fine. And
I mean, it was good.
and some people sleep better when it's chilly.
I mean, I was able to sleep, so I guess it was okay.
So
Yeah, it was quiet, uneventful.
uneventful. What is that?
Uneventful, yeah, nothing crazy happened.
Yeah. So it was uneventful.
That's a good thing, though. No
I
drama
know.
on the plane.
So what are your plans? What's on your?
We are going to
What's
be,
the?
be having some
I
conversations.
don't want to keep forgetting that word. What's your agenda calendar? No.
No?
It's called what?
Itinerary?
Yeah. What's your itinerary while you're here?
We are going to be like bringing you guys some good conversations over art.
Oh, I guess we should take time or a moment to introduce or talk about conversations over art that we're going to be producing. We're going to get some shows in while you're here, but tell them a little bit about conversations over art and how it happened to come about and what to expect.
Conversations over art is a way to celebrate artists and their work. They're going to be giving us their inspirations, how they started, a peek into their life, like the background, and hopefully doing this will inspire other artists. They may get something from it. Everything is kind of purpose-driven. So we're going to, like you said, we're going to be doing some interviews while I'm here.
Stop kicking that camera.
Meeting some people. Sorry. My bad. And so, it's going to be exciting. And then from there, it's going to just grow into, maybe like a documentary.
And it's a podcast.
Yeah, and it's a
Looking
podcast.
forward to it.
Who doesn't want to talk about art over art?
I
Like, you get to
know.
see the artists at their best, at their peak, being creative.
And get in their head and try to and let them explain their vision, how it came to be. Because
Yeah.
remember, and we were talking about this, how artists are a real piece of God because you're creating something from nothing. An artist, a painter, looks at a blank canvas and creates a beautiful rendering. Musicians,
Take a
nothing.
note.
Take a note, and create songs.
They create a feeling.
Yeah.
Music and art. I feel like it creates a feeling.
You think it could
And
be
a
emotional?
memory.
Music?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Art.
Art too.
Art can be emotional. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
expressive. For
So
sure.
we're looking forward to that. And we were tell them what's coming up in the next few days. What we were able to put together in just a few days, actually. It's funny. This podcast idea of yours came about, about 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago?
I would say a month ago, yeah.
That you
I
shared
was
it with
just-
me?
Yeah. God put it on my heart. I was like, I know I like celebrating people, and You know, I feel like you should give people their flowers while they're here.
Mm-hmm.
And what better way to do that than to have a conversation with them over what it is that they're creating?
And you know what? A lot of people like to talk about what they do, and you know, I find that out. And then from that conversation, I said, "Hey, why not? Let's do this."
Yeah.
And then I found out you were, coming to Chicago. And then you said, "Okay, while we're here, you know, we need to start putting some
Gather some artists, Charles.
some stuff together, you know, for this podcast. You know, some events, some shows, some guests." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I mean, it's like we just started it a few weeks ago. Then you sent me this text like, "Go to this event." It was on the same. It was a Friday.
Yeah.
That's going on in a couple of hours. You need to go there, take some pictures, meet some people.
Voila.
And so I went there and I saw a couple of artists that we know, local artists, who have galleries.
Yeah.
And because you were saying, "Hey, see if you can snag someone for a podcast." And so I talked to a couple. One was Andre Gouchard, who has a gallery south side of Chicago.
He is a staple in Chicago.
He
Art scene.
is beautiful gallery, him and his wife. And so, like I met him, I want to say about 20 plus years ago,
Yeah, it's been-
about the same time.
Yeah.
And he remembered us. And I said, "Hey, we have this podcast we're developing called Conversations Over Art. Would you mind being a guest?" And he said, "Yeah, absolutely."
he's
As a
on
matter of fact, they have their annual trolley tour. It's an art gallery crawl,
Yeah.
but it's a trolley bus
Sure, yeah.
that they take people around to the local south side
And that's been going on
galleries.
for some years, right? It's
Yeah,
been around for a
yeah. I think I went on. Did I go last year or the year before? I went maybe the year before.
It's
And
an
it's
amazing event.
It is. It's about 7 or 8 black art galleries. And wait a minute, it starts this Friday. You'll be here.
Oh, yeah, I'll be here.
That's the first one this year. So we definitely got to be on
We'll
that.
be on board.
Man, I just thought about that. And we could definitely take the cameras and set up some more guests.
Yes. Oh, that'd be amazing.
That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
I just feel like Chicago is a great art city. You know, people
It's
think
a
about
great
New
city.
York, maybe LA, or
Mm-hmm.
other places, but I feel like Chicago for me is.
I hope that background music is
Art.
not too loud. Should I close the windows?
I don't know.
I think the music kind of adds
Yeah,
to the
I don't mind it. It
ambiance.
doesn't bother me at all.
I just hope it's not overwhelming.
No.
I don't think it is.
It's good music though, so
It is good music. And so, yeah, that's what we got lined up for
that's what's coming
next
up, guys.
couple of days. We were able to hook up with one of our friends who's a videographer because we were saying, okay, no, you sent me this thing about this videographer. I said,
Yeah, I was looking for one
okay.
in Chicago. Yeah, I was like, we
so
gotta.
now we
gotta
need a
capture this.
videographer.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought for a moment, I said, wait a minute, we know a videographer. You know, let me see if he's available, and let's use him. And so he was available. Andre is available. That's on Tuesday.
Yes.
And so we're going to be doing a interview with Andre Gouchard at his gallery on Tuesday. So that's something to look forward to. And so, yeah, a lot of exciting things we plan to do with the Conversations Over Art. Interview local artists, interview celebrity artists. You'd be surprised how many celebrities are really into art.
Collectors, yeah.
Collectors. And artists themselves, like Billy D.
Artists.
Williams. He's
Yeah,
actually an
who
artist.
knew? Is Lenny Kravitz an artist or is he just a collector?
I think he's a collector. But Chris Brown is an artist.
He's actually pretty amazing.
He is.
Yeah, he's very talented.
He is. He does what you call, what would be his medium? Like,
It's not abstract.
it's sort of kind of abstract-y, but
Yeah.
I used to call it graffiti art.
Okay, that's it. That's perfect. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Yeah, but very, very tasteful.
Yes. Yeah, and he's been doing that for a very long time.
Since he was a kid.
Yeah, he's so
He-
talented.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
That's what him do.
I think once you're creative, like it can expand into so many different areas
It can.
of art.
Art, man, art. Let me tell you something about art.
Mm-hmm.
My experience with art. I started playing music, I want to say when I was 9, 10.
Yeah, you were young.
I was young. And
Oh, wait. Should we mention this for those of
What?
you all don't know that we're siblings?
hi.
Yeah, that's my brother.
And that's my sister. And I'm Charles Chaz. Some of you might know me as Chaz.
I'm Bernadine.
Yeah.
Some people call me Spirit.
Yeah.
That's from my modeling days.
She used to be a model. Runway, right?
Yeah.
Or
Runway
print.
print, but yeah.
Runway print. You traveled the
Catalog,
world.
Paris, London, yeah.
Yeah.
New York.
And then you started designing jewelry, didn't you?
Jewelry. Yeah. So our background is art,
It's
creating.
creatives.
So,
We are creatives.
Yes.
But yeah, I started as a youngin'. And some of my inspirations back then were Larry Graham from Sly and the Family Stone.
Okay.
And so I wanted to play the bass guitar. 4 strings. I said, it's 4 strings. I have to learn it much, but you have to learn as much. But anyway, I remember my first guitar. It was a red bass. And I saw it in the pawn shop for like $25. It took me a month to save up $25. A little bit more, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, the day before I was to go purchase it, because he said, hey, you got to come get it by a certain day. And so this day, the day before I was out in the lot, we played football, touch football in the lot with gravel and stuff. And so I twisted my ankle, and boy, was I in pain. And I'm like, man, but I got to go get this guitar tomorrow. So the fellas helped me home. I said, man, I got to get this. So Charlene helped me go to the pawn shop.
That's our sister.
That's our older sister. So I can purchase that guitar. And then from then, I was in a band, garage band, they used to call them back then. And the first song I ever learned on the bass guitar was Louie Louie. Louie Louie. Oh. Whatever it got. But Louie Louie was the first song I learned. And from that, I'm going to just fast forward. I said, man, I kind of like, producing. And so I started writing music. And then as I got older, I started making house music. I was in the basement.
Yeah, Chicago is the home of house. It was
Making
born
house
here.
music, man. So I got my equipment. I was making house music. I was sending it to this DJ in not New York. It was overseas. So I want to say Europe, because they were really, really big on Chicago house music. So I started producing house music, and then I started producing little local groups or whatever. We never really went anywhere, but it was fun doing it. It was the experience. And that was around the time when P. Diddy was starting off too. He was working for Andre Harrell. Uptown?
Uptown, yeah.
Was that the
Uptown
name
Records.
of it? Uptown Records? I'm like, if he could do it, I could do it. And then I started seeing what Russell Simmons was doing with the whole Def Jam thing. I said, yeah, this is cool. But anyway, it wasn't making no money, because it's a hustle.
You know what? Back then, people just did because they loved it.
They did. They really did.
It wasn't really about the money.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
But during that time too, I identified a need in the community, because I never went to school for music, because family really couldn't afford it. So I had to learn by sight and sound, which a lot of artists do. Prince, he learned from sight and sound.
Yeah.
And he plays a lot of instruments. But anyway, I was like 30 plus now, and I'm thinking, you know what? And I had 4 sons, and they were musically inclined or creatives. And so we'd be in my place. I always had a studio set up wherever I lived. I always had a studio set
Even
up.
when we were younger in the basement. I
Oh
remember
yeah,
you
that was my first studio.
Yeah.
Don't come down here.
Right, yeah. It was like,
This is my lab.
it's the
I'm
basement. It's supposed to
cooking.
be for family. No, it's for Charles.
This is for me making house music. But anyway, so I always had a studio, and my kids when they would visit me on the weekends, they wouldn't have a whole lot to do. I said, well, go in the studio and mull around there a little bit. And so I can remember one particular summer, Chris, second oldest, I said, go ahead, I'll be home after work and then we can get into something. But after a couple of weeks, he had friends come over and they'd be into it. And then I noticed Chris had a little money. I said, Chris, where you getting the money? He said, I'm selling my beats. Wait, beats? What do you mean? How do you even know how to make
He
beats?
took it a step further.
Yeah, but kids are amazing and they'll adapt to things real easily. And so, but I said that to say this. That's when I started the nonprofit AMP Community Arts Program, AMCAP. And the whole concept around that was to be an advocate for young artists or create a space, a safe space for young artists to come and cultivate and work on their craft, work on art, in the art studio, work on music, creating music and poetry.
And
do some
keep 'em
stand-up
off the
poetry and
streets.
keep them off the street.
Yeah.
And so AMCAP, took a little hiatus, but we're getting that up and running again this year. Mom gave me my first money for that nonprofit to make it official. It was like $800.
Yeah.
And so as we discussed before, I said I want to dedicate a wing or foundation. I think we said foundation, the Lorraine Brown Thomas Foundation,
Because she
in memory
really
of
is the
my mom.
source of our creativity. I just remember growing up and there being like paintings that she had done around the house.
Sketches,
Wow, yeah.
great sketches.
And it wasn't something that she didn't like put herself out there like in galleries. It's just something she loved and that she did. And she was a great writer.
Yeah, she
Mom
was.
graduated. She had 5 kids and she was working, so she couldn't really finish college before then. But she graduated college at 65. Like she's really big on.
She was a writer, too.
education.
She
Yeah,
wrote
that's what I'm
a-
saying. She wrote like short stories. And
I know she
yeah.
started a novel.
Yeah, I have it.
Oh,
At
you
home,
got it?
back home in Chicago.
Oh,
in,
that's
California.
amazing.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, and I can remember her listening to, I don't know if it was intentional or something she loved to listen to, classical music.
Yeah.
And I started liking classical
Me
music.
too.
I'm like, man, this is different, but I like it.
Yeah, she's from Indiana.
Yeah, she's from Indiana.
So that,
God
yeah,
bless
that's
her
the
heart.
source of our.
God bless her
creativity.
soul.
Yeah, we
She
lost
passed
her.
a couple years?
Yeah,
3
2
years?
almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years ago with our brother.
Yeah,
Mike.
who was very creative.
He
Yeah,
and he was a gadget head.
it was a yeah.
He would be turning me on to gadgets like, man, you need to get this, you need to get this. But yeah, he was creative
an
too.
artist, a musician.
He
yeah,
would
Mike.
sketch. I thought it was. I'm sure. I think I have some around the studio somewhere. Some of his
he was an
sketches, man.
amazing
I got his
artist.
keyboard,
Yep.
and so
So it's in our blood.
it is. It's real,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
we should. I think we can safely say we're dedicating what we do, conversations over art, in memory of my mom and my brother Mike.
Absolutely.
The spirit that surrounds this
Yeah.
and will catapult us into a successful podcast.
Absolutely, that
You think?
everyone can enjoy. Absolutely.
I think. Thank you. Y'all like
I
that?
didn't know we had an audience, but hey, y'all.
Yeah, I know. It's a virtual audience.
Yeah, it's gonna be. We're very excited to share this with you guys. So
I am. And so this week, just to give you guys a little insight, this is not an official introductory show, but this is just us talking a little bit about it. We may use this or we may not. This
I think
this
we
particular podcast, I think we should too, because it's off the.
it came from the heart.
It,
so
it really,
you can't redo this.
yeah, and so yeah, this will be kind of like an introductory
Absolutely.
podcast to why we do what we do, and inspiration and motivation behind what we do. Right?
Absolutely.
What's on your mind? Anything else?
No, I think we covered it pretty much.
Okay.
Everything. Yeah. For
Well-
an introduction, this is good.
Yeah, this is number one, you guys. This is the first of many.
What's today's date?
Ooh, today
15th.
is
June
Saturday,
15th.
June 15th. 15th is
In Chicago.
1:40 p.m. in Chicago. In Chicago. So
This is radio
automatically,
DJ.
she don't like this voice. I'm telling you automatically because I
old
used
school.
to. No. I'm gonna tell you. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, Yeah.
Do you know I was a DJ on the radio station?
At the college,
Right,
right?
yeah.
I remember.
Oh, okay.
I know.
And they kind of taught us.
Yeah. That's
You know,
what I say it's old school.
You
So
have
it's
to
in
have
you.
what they called back then a radio
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
You know, like Herb Kent
Herb Kent.
and all the other
Yeah,
what they
yeah.
call them after dark
After dark, yeah.
DJs.
The silky voice.
Like Keith Sweat, he has a show after
Oh,
dark.
he does.
Yeah.
Yes, he sure does.
And he talks like this. All my midnight lovers out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of grew up with it, and sometimes I don't notice it, but she'll do this. You know, why are you talking in that
I'll
voice?
give him the look like, what are you doing?
I don't, because
Why are you
I
doing
even with my other podcasts, I have like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
I'll come and say, "Hey, everybody, it's Chaz Thomas, and you're listening to the Life Inspired Podcast."
I guess there's a place for it. I don't know.
I mean, it's clean, it's clear,
Yeah.
and it's pleasant.
yeah.
Big, you know,
It
that's what a
is,
radio
but,
voice
you
is.
know.
Something that's you listen to some DJs now. Well, you can hardly understand what they're saying, you know, because they talk either too fast, too slow, But I guess it doesn't matter. It's about the personality, because you got people like Steve Harvey, country, but
I just said, uh-oh.
yeah, no, I mean he's cool. I got a
It
picture of me
works
and
for
him
him.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
He's-
it depends on your fan base. I mean, they don't really. If they love you, they love you. If they
They'll
don't, they
follow you.
don't.
Yeah.
You know, so they don't care.
Yeah.
You know how articulate you are. You know, it's
Or how you articulate it.
right. It's
Yeah.
right. It's just they have fun with you, and that's what we want to create: an environment of fun and laughter,
And
just like
information
some
and,
friends out there.
yeah.
We may have a glass of wine sometime, you know, and just just having a conversation about art. You know, we're gonna hook it up, or we're gonna make it possible for people to call in, and we can have a live conversation.
That'd be great.
You know, with our friends. I won't call them fans. I'll call them friends.
Friends, I like that, yeah.
Yeah, with our friends, our artsy friends.
Just bringing you along.
So, guys, you can invite us out to your events or call in and let's talk about it, because
Invite us to
our
your
whole
gallery.
thing too. Yeah, let's see your
Or
gallery.
your studio where you're creating. Yeah,
The,
we
one of the other reasons why I created AmpCap 2 was about giving these young artists, and there's a lot of great young artists, but they don't have the exposure. People don't know they exist. So one of the main things I want to do with this podcast is give artists exposure. Hey, tell us where you are. Tell us where people can find your work and how to contact you. It's about exposure. You
And
could be
inspiring
the
people,
great
yeah.
inspiring people. You could be the greatest artist in the world, but if nobody knows about you, you don't exist.
Yeah.
And I don't like people missing opportunities because they don't have exposure. So we're gonna do whatever we can to give you that exposure. So
I'm
if you
real
want
big.
exposure, please call
Yeah.
in where you're gonna be, how to get in touch with your website, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
We want to get it out there.
And I'm real big on like giving people their flowers before they're 6 feet under. Like,
That's
you
right.
know,
That's true.
share them with the world.
Let's bless each other.
Yep, absolutely. Good job. Yep.
Okay. I think that's enough. Right? That was good. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So, just so you know where to find us, we are available on most podcast platforms like Spotify, iTunes, website. We got a website called Conversations Over Art.
And catch us on
.com.
Instagram. Yeah.
We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. So all the social media platforms, we will be available.
Yep.
So just Google us. Type in the name. Conversations with the S over art. Right?
Yes.
All right.
That's
That's
it.
all I got.
Yep.
How about some theme music to take us out of here? If I can find something. Let's see. Bubble. Oh, this is,
We're working on
We're
it.
working on it. Anyway, but we do appreciate you
We'll
guys.
see you.
And until next time, God bless you. Be safe and keep creating.
Let's talk soon.
Peace.